Good evening and welcome to Love and the Scriptures, our second night with this subject, new on love and stuff. Grateful to be here, grateful for the platform, grateful for the love activist, Brother Marcus Holmes, who makes all of this possible, this and several other shows that do appear on Love and Stuff. We were here last time, not on Wednesday night, but on Friday, Good Friday night, the launch day, the launch time. And I hope uh, that many of you were there. No, I hope all of you were there. And I hope all of you have returned or will return um, as we begin this venture looking into love and the scriptures. Um, Hopefully, for us, there is a way that we can learn some things about love, but then learn some things about ourselves, then learn some things about others, and then learn some things about God, and then learn some things about the scriptures that we can love. That's what the aim, that's what the hope and the intention is, that out of this discussion of love in the scriptures, that love for all of those categories, all of those things that I just named, that a new love, that a deeper love, that a truer love is developed for and experienced with and in those relationships. And so that's what we're about. And I invite us to be thought partners and conversation partners so that it's not just a one sided, not a monologue, but that this is a dialogue, that this isn't a diatribe or a speech, but that this is a communication that is reaching for communication to be met, that a conversation is taking place. And so be sure to put questions, to post your questions, to and your comments, and all those things likewise as we go into and go further in the discussion of love and the scriptures. Last time we talked about how God actually is the beginning of love, that love actually comes from, that love emanates from God, not in the sense that it's what God has, not that love is what God does, not that love is what God gives, but love emanates from God. Love starts and begins with God because God is love. Love is what He is. God is love. We found that in the scriptures of First John. And so we said as well that if love for anyone, that if love for anything is going to be pure and its purest, it's going to be true and its truest. And if it's going to be complete and its most complete or the completest, that it of necessity has to go through or come from the source of love, and that is God. That's what we talked about on last time. I want to take another step this time, and of course I'd like to hear ideas, whatever thoughts or whatever questions that arose from that for anybody. Again, put those in the chat, whatever questions, whatever comments or responses that there may be. Put those in the chat, and we can talk about it. But I want to take a step further into discussion of love in the scriptures, and I want to start by playing a song that will probably be familiar to many. The song by Foreigner, I Want to Know What Love Is. So listen to the song, and I think this version that's there has the lyrics also, and so you can follow along lyrically as the song itself is playing.
Take a little time to think things over. I better read between the lines in case I need it when I'm older. Mountain I must climb feels like the world upon my shoulder. Through the clouds I see love shine. It keeps me warm as life grows colder. In my life there's been heartache and pain. I don't know if I can take a little time to look around me. I've got nowhere left to hide. It looks like love has finally found me. In my life, there's been heartache and pain. I don't know if I can
Probably Interesting to some why that song, secular song, is played during discussion of love and the scriptures. Well, good question. And I'll tell you why. Because, in my opinion, um, that song expresses what I believe could have been a legitimate gospel or a religious song. The perspective, even though the song is generally understood in the context of a romantic love situation, I want to know what love is in the sense of knowing that love for someone who loves me. I don't think, or at least to my mind, it is not limited in that type of expression. um there is, of course, the searching for love that is done not just for or in romantic situations. um that love is something that is sought out and searched for in many different relationships and arenas. And there is a way, even which, as God reaches out in his love towards us, because he first loves us, there is a way in which um, God is there wanting to know if there is a love for him from us, in a way that he loves us. And some of you say, "Well, preacher, you pressing it there. You're straining there." Well, not really so, because you'll remember when Jesus is crucified and is raised from the dead. One of the first appearances that he makes to his disciples is as Peter has gone and taken several others back fishing, which is their regular profession. It was their profession before they became his disciples. And they are out fishing because he's now crucified and they think it's all over. But Jesus appears on the seashore. He directs them into a successful fishing expedition. And when they come to shore, Jesus pulls Peter to the side and he asks this question: "Peter, do you love me more than these?" And not one time, not two times, but three times Jesus asks Peter this question: "Do you love me more than these?" And so, in that sense, as I just said a moment ago, that God in his love reaches towards us, and the question is there about our love for him. I think this song can be seen, can be used, or for sure is not limited to an expression of romantic love. But I think there are tones in it that can be seen in our relationship with God in both ways. There are people, believe it or not, who question whether God loves them or not, or even what that love means. And so, I think this song, I think, is helpful. I think it's instructive in a way that it can actually express, or at least give a clearer picture, or help us to think through and to understand deeper meanings of what love is. And in that vein, scripturally, what I want to do, I want to talk about the word love and how it's actually used in the scriptures. In the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament, there are two ideas, two words that are used in a way to convey love, even though one of them is not specifically about love. It's about another emotion, a broader kind of context of emotion, which includes love. That word, we have it translated in our English Bibles two ways. In King James and earlier translations, it is translated into the word mercy. In New International Version, English version of the Bible, or ESV, English Standard Version, and others, the word is translated loving kindness. The word in Hebrew is chesed, And again, most commonly, originally it was translated into English Bibles as mercy, and then later translations called it or used the terminology loving kindness. Interesting because there is no English conception that actually defines or can explain what the word hesed means. Mercy was used because it carries an idea of God having compassion. The word hesed that earlier translators translated as mercy, because of God's sense of compassion for us, and not pity necessarily only, but a compassion in that God's feeling, goes towards us. But it's not just that. So later translators called the word, or at least translated it, loving kindness. And what is meant in that idea, or what is carried in that idea, is that God has a commitment that what his feeling is for us cannot be changed by anything. So loving kindness is about the way that God feels for us and how God acts towards us out of the feeling that is there. It's a full investment of whatever God's feeling and his action included in that um comes towards us. That's what the word has said. But the word that is most commonly used for love in the Old Testament is the word ahava. And in this word, again, it's a word that there is no English equivalent to, but it is where we do understand God's feeling of love, his emotion, his that expression that he has, that feeling. And I'm not escaping the word feeling, because it is about feeling. It is what God feels about us. It is not limited to feeling, though. It is also a combination of what God thinks about us in his feeling towards us. It is about what God does for us because of his feeling for us. That thinking and feeling is intertwined and is legitimately followed organically by a doing. That's one of the reasons that things that we see when we look at the scripture from last week, John 3:16. And listen how it's ordered. For God so loved that he gave. That combination of his feeling and his thinking automatically leads to an action that he gives. That's the Old Testament. I won't give the whole list of scriptures that are connected and associated with that. There are a slew of scriptures that actually come in that understanding of ahava, the love in the Hebrew. Not going to belabor us with that, but and I'm not going to, because I want us to look at the New Testament, which we are much more familiar with when it comes to love. The Greek language is what we are owing to. Hebrew, when I talk about the Old Testament, because that's the language primarily that the Old Testament, that the Hebrew Bible is written in, Hebrew. But the New Testament is written in the Koine Greek language. And in that language, the New Testament uses four of the Greek words for love, and used at different times because they are different expressions. Okay. The first of the words used in the New Testament regarding love is the word eros. And of course, we understand eros as the romantic kind of love. It refers to romantic love felt towards one spouse. Okay. This Greek term is where the word erotic is derived from. The word eros is not, the concept of eros is in the New Testament, It is not actually explicitly used in the New Testament. The concept for eros, however, we do see in the Old Testament, even though the word itself does not appear. The encounters of Solomon, what he talks about and describes with his beloved, the concepts of eros, and that's one of the places where we actually do see the idea for what we understand as eros or romantic erotic kind of love. The second kind of love used in the New Testament, philia or phileo. Sometimes it's actually pronounced philia. It refers to feelings one has towards close friends. This is what we call brotherly love. This word was used in the New Testament to describe Jesus' love for his disciples in the Gospel of John, 20th chapter, and the second verse. And it's the love that's Jesus, that is described as Jesus feeling for Lazarus, John 11:3. And you'll remember Jesus weeps at Lazarus's grave, and the people who see him say, oh, how he loved him. In that phrase, that's where this word philia is used, John 11:3. The third word for love in the Greek, in the New Testament, is agape. Most people say agape, but agape or agapein is another tense of it. But this is the kind of love that we should have for all people. And also, and of course, all people means that, inclusive of all, exclusive of none. Um, this reference says, even our enemies. It is a selfless kind of love that believers must have in regard to acting in the best interest for all people. Jesus in Matthew 5:44 uses this, but I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. That is agape, or agape. This is the kind of love that it's described that God has towards us. This love is a very unique kind of love. And interesting that Jesus uses it when he instructs his disciples to love their enemies, because this kind of love, it's difficult in terms of understanding in its possibility for we as humans to do. The characteristics of this love is unlimitedness, unrestrictedness, and even indescribable. We have given descriptors to it, as we try to get a handle on what it means. Unconditional is the biggest word that's used to try to describe it, but it's so much more vast and so much larger than even just that concept. It is the love that God has towards us. And as we see in Matthew 5:44, it's the kind of love that Jesus expects his disciples to have for everybody. The last kind of love, fourth love, in the New Testament that we see is storge. This Greek word refers to love we have for our parents, our siblings, or our children, and other members of our family. It's a comrade love or familial love. Storge is expressed in that sense, that the relationship is about those that we have a strong regard for, that we are related to, whether it's related in bloodlines or whether it's related in commitment to causes or to activities. Storge is that kind of love. Romans 1:31. And how does it say it? Peter used this word in the negative in Romans 1:31 when he described the pagans, that he was in contact with being without natural affection. And so when Romans talks about and that's Paul writing Romans 1:31. When Paul talks about natural affection in Romans, the word that is translated there or translated from there is the Greek word storge, the word for familial or comrade love, the love of those that we are in relationship with or that we are in commitment to causes with. And what am I saying in this and bringing us these biblical concepts of love? Simply this message. Again, that the intention from the scriptural point of view, that love is not something that is fallen into, that love does not oops up on us and should catch us by surprise in that regard, but that there is a prior in love, in which that is the love of God. And we love God because he first loved us. And then that love to all others around us. And even in that love is where we find and where is groomed our love for significant others. Thank you tonight for being with us, for loving the scriptures, and we are glad you came. Join us again next week, 5:30, 5 o'clock will be my time, 6 o'clock your time. Same place, same time for love and the scriptures.